Welcome back. Ephrata officials are looking for help to improve city services. The City Council approved spending $1,500 to join a sewer funding coalition. The lobbying group, which is comprised of several small cities across the state, wants the state to restore funding for sewer projects. City Administrator Wes Crago said the small cities are affected by the cuts because they aren't able to increase rates enough to pay for infrastructure. They rely on state assistance to fund the projects. The cities of Shelton and Port Angeles began a coalition in the beginning of November to ask the state to restore funding to programs such as the Public Works Assistance Account. They want to hire a lobbyist to ask the state to restore the funding. In Northwest news, the federal government contends that new Hanford cleanup deadlines sought by the state of Washington would require an extra $18 billion over the next 14 years. The U.S. Department of Justice says that it is not realistic and would jeopardize other cleanup projects at Hanford. The Tri-City Herald reports both the Justice Department and the state of Washington filed court documents on Friday in the federal lawsuit the state has filed to speed up the cleanup of Hanford, the nation's most polluted nuclear weapons production site. The state criticized the government's management of Hanford. It urged the court to require tighter oversight of Hanford's leaky underground nuclear waste tanks and a plant being built to treat that waste. One man has perfected the art of being a Boy Scout. He joined the Cub Scouts in 1939 and never left. Reporter Angela Greenwood has the story.
Otis Lentz is a man of many passions. He's a husband, a grandpa, a retired school administrator, but his biggest passion, and these pieces of it, are hanging here on this wall.
My International Scouting Award.
A shrine, if you will, spanning 3/4 of a century. That's how long the 83-year-old has been a Boy Scout.
It feels good. There's very few that make that goal.
A goal in the making since 1939. Lentz was just 8 years old when he became a Cub Scout.
It has helped me.
Lentz says the organization pulled him out of a slump in his teens when he was getting into trouble and skipping school. So for the last 75 years, he's been working to repay it.
My payback is doing the things I do now for the youth and the program. This here is just one.
Lentz has earned hundreds of patches and dozens upon dozens of certificates and awards. His favorite, the Eagle Scout Award, which he calls the pinnacle of scouting.
Only 1% of the boys that go into the program get it.
Only 1%?
Only 1%.
And then there's the people he's met, the hundreds of lifelong friendships he's made with folks across the globe.
We send out, my wife and I send out over 250 Christmas cards a year.
Every year?
Over a year. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less. It all depends. But it's over 250. And we get back probably...
Will you add one more to that list?
You? Sure, sure.
During his time, Lentz has worked his way up the ranks as a scout, of course, a scout master, an activities director, and now a board member for the Greater Yosemite Council. And at the end of the year, he'll receive his much-deserved 75 years of service pin.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
But he won't stop there. He says his ultimate goal is to live until he's at least 108.
At that point in time, I have passed my 100th year in scouting. And there's no one at that point has ever done that.
Lentz says the Boy Scouts of America has been life-defining, which makes it easy to dedicate a life of service.
That's what I started out to do, and I believe and I will continue doing that until my last day.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.